What's going on, YouTubers? Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Natural Born Thriller, and welcome everyone to Impact Wrestling Review, the show from June 10th, 2021, and this was the Go Home Show edition for Against All Odds 2021 with a stack card that they built up for. I'm gonna go through that once I do the predictions because I haven't seen the show yet. But there is one match that was, sort of kind of spoiled for me, which I already knew what was gonna be the outcome, but the way they did it, we'll get to it when we get to it. Again, I haven't watched it. I saw, you know, clips and highlights of it, but I want to see how it unfolded. I didn't see any impact moves that was done. I haven't seen any spots that was done yet, other than the something that I did saw, which I talk a little bit more about that when I get to the preview of it. I'm not gonna talk. I'm not gonna talk a lot more about that. I'll talk about maybe just a little bit of it, a little teaser of it for those who hasn't seen the show. But if you have seen the show, you know what happened, and for those that basically we'll talk more a little bit more about that. Also, might get to that review as well. I gotta watch the show first, where it tends to Against All Odds. But let's get to this Impact Wrestling review. This was a Go Home Show edition for the Against All Odds. So the opening show, which by the way you had Josh Matthews doing commentary with D'Lo Brown, and at Skyway Studio, in Nashville, Tennessee. We get a summit opening up that will feature the Impact executive vice president and Scott D'Amore, welcoming the AEW president Tony Khan. So basically, Tony Khan came out with his own Dynamite theme and the AEW logo on the screen. As Scott D'Amore gets him the Impact Wrestling microphone, all of a sudden, they're all in agreement in a way. And then you had Tony Khan saying thank you for bringing me out and everything and all that, blah blah blah. And he's like, I would have preferred an AW microphone, whatever. And I see myself, oh my god, he's doing this. He's doing it again. He's doing this cringy, character driven, pertains to him being an AEW owner and another company of Impact Wrestling, where it's just cringy. It's awkward. It's odd. It's weird. It's strange that the way that Tony Khan is presenting himself, but he wasn't bad here. Pertains to him being in a speaker on the mic, he wasn't bad here. He was actually pretty good. And the reason I say that because I hear his interviews before. His interviews is all right. That's all I can say from there. His interviews pertains to being interview with podcasters and all that. But where it tends to him being on TV, he does pretty well. He does pretty good. Other than the one he did on YouTube, the whole 9 days from tonight, live on my live from tonight. I'm just always having without blah, 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 blah. I'm just saying, I'm just trying to get to this. But yeah, I was getting annoyed there, basically, but with Tony Khan talking about, he would prefer to have the AW microphone. That's simple, but it's still a microphone. Either way, it doesn't matter. So Don Callis comes out with his own theme song, and yeah, there's nothing to it. I should mention his theme song, by the way. His theme song is sound like an opera song. I don't know what kind of opera song it was that he's coming out to, but I'm saying myself, I don't get why he chose of all theme songs that have that as his theme song for Impact Wrestling. I don't remember if he missed it on AEW before, but he's missed it on Impact Wrestling. And basically his on-screen character, he's also the executive vice president of Impact Wrestling, which in real life he's not anymore. But basically they have a discussion, this whole summit, where it tends to should Sami Callihan be in the match since he won the match against Moose via disqualification because of the Good Brothers that can't get involved. So Don Callis, is making an excuse and make it he brought some good excuse about why Sami Callihan should not be in this match. He's a dangerous man. He at one point did put his hand on Don Callis before, which, if anyone knew your history of Impact Wrestling, it was during the whole thing happened with Eddie Edwards. Which led to Eddie Edwards being what he was right now. There was also during the time when OVE was still around, and so they were making some good. So he basically making some value points about Sami Callihan and all that, and they did agree. Sami Callihan will not be getting involved in a match against Kenny Omega and Moose, which is going to be taking place not at Skyway Studios, but it's going to take place at Daily's Place, which is going to be in Nashville, Tennessee. I mean, in Jacksonville, Florida. Excuse me. So it's because I think to myself, okay, I think that's a good idea because you can have crowds there to watch the match between Moose and Kenny Omega. It'll be great for Moose, right? We'll get to that once I get to it. Because again, I saw clips of it, so I'll get to that when I get to it. Cause I haven't really watched it fully to see how it is, but we'll get to that when I get to it. Once I finish watching the show, and then once I do the review, I'll get to that part when I get to it. But yeah, during that time when I heard, okay, so it's gonna take me a day place in Jacksonville, Florida, between Moose and Kenny Omega. I think to myself, that's great, and Tony Khan is allowing that to happen. I think that was his idea, obviously. As a matter of fact, either that was his idea or Scott D'Amore pitched the idea to him to have their own. I don't know, but either way, Tony Khan decided to have that happen at Full Sail. I mean, yeah, no, not Full Sail. That's the East NXT. At this place, meant to say, the venue that AEW does the show since the pandemic started. So yeah, the match will happen there. Instead of happening at Skyway Studio in Nashville, Tennessee. So it's gonna be at this place in Jacksonville, Florida, for the main event between Moose versus the Impact World Champion Kenny Omega for the title, where Sami Callihan will also be banned. So that's another good way too. Since Sami Callihan is going to be in Nashville, Tennessee, meanwhile Moose and Kenny Omega is going to be wrestling in Daily's Place in Jacksonville, Florida. It's a fair even playing field. And so Don Callis was going to leave because he basically thinks his work is done. But then also Scott D'Amore said, well, hold on a second, me and Tony Khan also made an agreement too, that whoever wins that match between Kenny Omega and Moose will defend the Impact World Championship title at Summerversary against Sami Callihan. And Don Callis was upset with that. He leaves. He's not happy with that. And basically that was the end of that. So at least we get now we get to know why Sami Callihan didn't get a shot against Kenny Omega at against All Odds, and they decided to go with Moose instead. It's because they want Sami Callihan to be the guy, and the reason why too is because we don't know the status yet about if Moose is going to resign with Impact Wrestling, because those reports out there that said that Moose did resign with Impact Wrestling. For someone that said that, I don't remember who was online that said that, but Moose confirmed that he did not come to any agreement to resign with Impact Wrestling. So who knows where Moose is going? Either if he's going to be going to AEW, if he's maybe he'll go back to Ring of Honor, maybe he wants to wrestle for New Japan Pro Wrestling, either by going to Japan or by just going to California for the Strong Show, the NJPW Strong that's represented by New Japan Pro Wrestling, or maybe he'll go to WWE. If that's the case, if he goes to WWE, boy, does WWE look like hypocrites there, because they didn't want to send this guy in the first place because of his charges from his past, which I think it was domestic violence like that he at one point was charged of at one point. And that was the old Moose though. The Moose right now he's been doing good ever since, and he's in great shape too. So how WWE is going to look right now if they bring this guy in when they didn't, they want him because of that reason. So, but again, we'll see what Moose does. If he resigns with Impact Wrestling, great. If he doesn't resign with Impact Wrestling and goes to elsewhere, we'll see how that turns out. For Moose. But yeah, I thought to myself, that's why Moose didn't get that match against Summerversary against Kenny Omega. It's because they he didn't resign. So, well, who knows? Who knows what Moose is going to think about while doing once his contract comes up. So then we get to backstage. Gina Miller trying to interview Don Callis, the Good Brothers, and Kenny Omega, but they all ignore her, and then that was it. They're basically they're upset, this whole thing, and then all of a sudden Don Callis talking about we gotta take someone out tonight, and all of a sudden Don Callis uh you know gets interrupted by Scott Demoy, who overheard this, and like, wow, he just comes out of nowhere, hearing all this stuff, all this going on. So, Scott Demoy decided to have a match, for the Good Brothers to have at against all odds against Sami Callihan and a partner of his choosing. And there you go. And we'll get to more of that with Sami Callihan of who's going to be his partner later on. So. Then we get to Brian Myers and Sam Beal, where it turns to another segment of how to be a professional. So where it turns to to be a professional, you have to cut a promo to your opponent. So basically, Sam Beal was cutting a promo to Matt Cardona, excuse me. Basically, in the promo, pulling him over. And Brian Myers was upset that no, you're not supposed to put him over. You're supposed to say he sucks and all that. Basically bury him in the promo, not put him over. Basically devalue him. Bury him. Say he's an idiot. Say that he's a loser. He's a nobody and all that. So Brian Myers was upset that. And basically in a way, telling that Sam Beal, he's got a lot of work to do. We got some work to do with you, man, to be how to be a professional. So yeah, I thought it was funny too that Brian Myers was losing his mind because of that. So Sami Callihan, he goes up to Scott Demoy. He doesn't like that he has to have a partner because no one likes him. And all of a sudden, Tommy Dreamer returns. Tommy Dreamer, he's growing he's growing his hair, by the way, long hair, to cover his bald spot, by the way, which is that's something you can't help with in a way. So Tommy Dreamer decided, he brought some points about, something about an enemy of my enemies are my friends, like that. I can't remember how he said it though, but Sami Callihan, so, you know what, I'll be your partner today, blah blah blah, against the Good Brothers and all that. So that ends up on being that. And then Scott Demoy and Tom Dreamer start having a little discussion on that. Scott Demoy did not like how he said that too, because he maintains the whole thing with Don Callis and all that. And then Tom Dreamer, for whatever reason, he's pointing his finger at him, doing this, that to him, and all that. Scott Demoy did not appreciate that, and it was whatever. But yeah, we get confirmation there that it's gonna be Tom Dreamer and Sami Callihan, are gonna be going up against the Good Brothers against all odds. And after all that was done, now I don't know how long this took until we finally got to a match, but we finally got to a match. After all the bullshit, we finally get to a match. They forgot about the show that's called Impact Wrestling for a reason, instead of Impact Talking. So, the match was that they did here was Havoc versus Rosemary. Where, keep in mind, if Havoc wins the match against Rosemary, Havoc will be added into the match with Rosemary and Deonna Purrazzo against all odds, whereas really it's going to be against all odds, like towards the Virtuosa for the Knockouts Championship title at that event. So the match happened. I thought it was decent. With Rosemary going over. After the match, though, Rosemary and Havoc is attacked by Deonna Purrazzo, Kimberly, and Susan. Susan had her shoe and all, and then Susan calls out Fire and Flava because Kimberly is gonna be having a match against Tasha Steelz. So we get to this match now with Kimberly and being accompanied by Susan versus Tasha Steelz with Kiera Hogan at ringside. So yeah, Susan at ringside for Kimberly and Kiera Hogan at ringside for Tasha Steelz. While Tasha Steelz and Kimberly have a match here, I thought it was decent, and Tasha Steelz got the win. And of all things that she won with a fucking arrow. So unlike saying myself, okay, so first she went with frog splashes out of nowhere to Jordan Grace, not once but twice of I seen. And now Tasha Steelz is gonna win with a Falcon Arrow onto Kimberly, and I couldn't believe it. She got the win there. Like, oh my god, I didn't expect that finish there. So that's also I guess the Falcon Arrow is a finisher too. Chance to send your opponent on in the mat. So yeah, I actually appreciate that too. So after the match though, Gian Perazo and Susan bring up, they start to beat up on Fire and Flava. Also, Rosemary Havoc comes back, and they take out, Perazo, Susan, Kimberly, Tasha Steelz, and Kiera Hogan. Especially Kiera Hogan, because after Kiera Hogan, got back up, she recovered after the beating that she took from Susan, because Susan blindsided her. I think it was I think it was either Kimberly or it was Perazo. I can't remember either way, but point is, Kiera Hogan almost last victim to be taken out by Havoc and Rosemary. So now I don't know if Havoc's gonna be part of the K now, because she's forming this team with Rosemary. But if Rosemary and Havoc are a team, we're still be because Rosemary is the K. Hey, I wouldn't be mind. I wouldn't hate it that Havoc, because of her character, that she fits right into the K. I wouldn't mind that. And on top of that, I wouldn't mind them being a tag team, because God knows that Impact Wrestling needs more tag team knockouts, because the knockouts tag team titles. So yeah, I thought basically Rosemary and Havoc, they stand tall. We get how could I forget about this, by the way. Previous review, I didn't get to talk about this because I forgot all about it. I forgot to bring it up. The last review I did for Impact Wrestling, there was a video vignette with someone named McLean. Basically, it was basically a video vignette of Steve McLean, the former Steve Cutler. Was it Cutler? Basically, one of the former members of the Forgotten Sons with Wesley Blake and Jackson Riker. I think it was Steve Cutler, if I'm not mistaken. That was his name from WWE, NXT, whichever you want to say. Either way, it's the same. I digress. But he's going by the name of Cutler. He's not going by Steve Cutler. I think he's going by. I mean, of course, he can't go by that name. That's WWE's name. McLean meant to say. So yeah, I don't think he's going by Stephen McLean. I think he's just going by by his last name, just McLean. And and they show him the video vignettes of him. He didn't say anything from the first one. In the second one though, he cut a promo, and it was a very passionate promo that he did, saying that he basically he promises that he won't have his back turned once he makes his Impact Wrestling debut. And there was a lot more he said too, like saying, my back is against the wall and it is do or die. So, and I thought he cut a good promo there, and I can't wait to see him appear there. And for those who don't know, Steve McLean is the boyfriend of Deon Perazo. Now I don't know if they're engaged or they're married, but I know they're going out. So, which is good. I'm happy for them. But yeah, McLean, in a way I kind of knew he was gonna be coming to Impact Wrestling because Deon Perazo was there. So, it's fitting. And on top of that, in WWE at the time, when they were on NXT. When the Impossible was doing nothing because WWE didn't do anything with her, which is a shame, a crime, but whatever. It's whatever though. But there you go. But yeah, I can't wait to see him appear in Impact Wrestling. I don't know when, but we'll see. Um, so after what happened with Josh Alexander and TJP of the match, Josh Alexander was being interviewed by Gina Miller. Josh Alexander, who's the X Division champion, still the champion. He's looking forward to seeing the match pertains to the other competitors that's going to be in the match. In Ray Rajul, Chris Bay, Trey Miguel, P.D. Williams, and I can't remember who else who was supposed to be in the match too. Yeah, I'll go look it up later, but I could swear one of them was also Chris Sabin, but I digress. But yeah, all of a sudden it's Austin coming in, he interrupts, and basically they have a little back and forth, Josh Alexander and Ace Austin because they have history together, and yeah, basically teasing that Ace Austin. Oh yeah, that's right, Ace Austin's the guy in the match too. So yeah, it's not Chris Sabin. My apologies. Yeah, not remember. It was Ace Austin in the match too, who's gonna be in the match along with Rick Rajul, Chris Bay, Trey Miguel, and P. Williams. Where whoever wins those guys will get a title shot against Josh Alexander in the future, which I'm assuming is gonna happen at Summerversary. So. So we get a match here with Rick Rajul teaming up with Chris Bay versus Trey Miguel and P.D. Williams. And the match I thought was pretty decent, with Trey Miguel and P.D. Williams getting the win. With I can't remember if Ace Austin came out before or after. Or I'm meant to say during. I'm meant to say, but no, it was actually after the match. Ace Austin and Madman Fulton came out and attacked everyone in the ring. Josh Alexander comes in for the save. All of a sudden, Madman Fulton was getting manhandled by everyone, and Chris Bay, Trey Miguel, P.D. Williams, Rick Rajul, while Ace also was being held down, forced to watch by Josh Alexander. And then they hit, basically they assist Madman Fulton on the top rope with P.D. Williams on the top rope as well, so that they could give him a super ultimate Canadian destroyer to Madman Fulton, and the way Madman Fulton sold it, pretty damn good. And he looked like he was knocked out dead. I loved it. And that was it. So basically, the story here is that, because Ace Austin said, he's got Madman Fulton watching his back against all odds to help me to get, the win. Basically trying to take advantage of that whole win, so he could face Josh Alexander in the future for the title. But guess what? Now that can't happen because they took out the monster in Madman Fulton. The way that was done here. So that means Ace Austin is on his own against all odds. So we'll see if they did live up to that storyline, but we'll see. I hopefully they did. I just don't want them to be like WWE and ignore what happened with Madman Fulton. But we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. So, because I know he's supposed to be a monster and everything. He's a monster and all that. But after what I saw here, he looked like he was knocked out. Looked like he was destroyed. So that means he should not be seen anytime soon. So Waymat, he gets interview. I believe he was getting an interview, but Gina Miller with Ruswan along with there as well by his side. Waymack promises to put a little respect into W. Morrissey because they're having a match. It was a no DQ match. We'll get to when we get to it. Rich Swan wants to help Mac, and it's like I appreciate that, but this is my match and everything. But I'll save you some from him as against all odds and everything. And basically tells Rich Swan that he's got this. So, and Rich Swan appreciate that. It's All About Me show with Tina Dashwood, with Kill with a K, and they brought in Richard Ellering in there. Jordan Grace was part of it too. I hate it. I To me, this is stupid. The whole thing with Tina Dashwood's character is stupid. The show is stupid. This whole segment was stupid. But it did had Jordan Grace had enough of Tina Dashwood's bullshit and the disrespect where she challenged her to a match against all odds. And that's what this whole show led to. I don't like the show at all. Of this whole It's All About Me. This makes no sense at all of why Tina Dashwood was doing the show. The way it's been orchestrated and all that. To me, it's a waste of time. I think that was the only thing I hated on the show here. Besides Susan, you know. But other than that, it's whatever. So they get a Vampire Design promo where they're disappointed, that Diener lost. I'm assuming on the Before the Impact show, which I didn't watch, I didn't care for. Apparently, he had a match against Eddie Edwards and lost. No surprise there, Weber. Yeah, because Diener is a jobber, so who cares? And on top of that, why is he in Vampire Design is beyond me. So during um he's gonna be having a match against Eddie Edwards. We'll get to that when we get to it. Basically, it's just one more match against Eddie Edwards, where it takes to him facing Satoshi uh, Kojima at against All Out. Which that match I'm looking forward to the scene. So we get to Joe Doring being covered by Vampire Design versus Eddie Edwards. And the match I thought was decent. For someone that doesn't like Eddie Edwards that much anymore, to me, I didn't mind this match at all. But of course, Eddie Edwards had to win, of course, because interference. Basically he won by disqualification because you can't have him lose, to Joe Doring, and even though it's supposed to be Joe Doring being built up here, he needs momentum against Kojima against all odds. But no, we're gonna get the win to Edwards, to protect him because why not? So they start beating up at Eddie Edwards, whoever. Kojima runs in, he runs in and he makes a save, and yeah, and then they hold back Joe Doring, who got knocked out of the ring, and from by design held back Joe Doring. Kojima close him out of the ring. I think I'm assuming I don't remember how it was done, but yeah, basically I'll give us a small taste example for those who haven't seen the match between Kojima and Joe Doring, and I want them, to see how they're gonna clash, and I can't wait to see how that match classes, how they clash, on Impact Wrestling. So, just to against all odds. We get a video promo of Moose, about talk about how important this Impact World Championship title means to him. He says Impact needs their prestigious title back, and basically showing a lot of highlights about Moose, about how a 5-star athlete he is and all that, and he's ready for Kenny Omega, and we'll get to that when we get to it once I get a chance to watch it. And finally, the main event, a no disqualification match between W. Morsley versus Waymat. We had a steel chair involved. Yeah, a steel chain involved. Yeah, I think they made moves to ring post in the match at one point. I don't remember if they did or not, but this match was brutal, and it was good. A good match. Again, W. Morsley, he's really coming coming to his own. After a lot of downs, and now he's getting right back up to where he should be. I'm very proud of him, and could be more happy for him. And I'm glad he's still here. He's still here with us, doing what he loves to do. So in the end, he got the win because he needs the momentum. Unlike what they did with Joe Doring having to lose because they had to protect Eddie Edwards. just disqualify or not, it doesn't matter. Joe Jordan needs the momentum, and you couldn't even have him win. Yeah, I don't mind if you had to protect Eddie Edwards, to have him lose. Even that would annoy me too. But it would have been better for him to, for Joe Jordan to win than have Eddie Edwards win. But W Morrissey won. After the match, Joe, W Morrissey, you know, I think he's gonna do some more on Remac. I think Rich Swann came out for the save. Yeah, Shakira's coming out to break it up because W Morrissey was getting Rich Swann beating up, with a steel chair, whatever. And then W Morrissey like, you know what? I'll save more of you at, He didn't say this, but I'm just saying, the mannerism and his body language, now forget it. I'll take care of you at, on Saturday. And Rich Swann I didn't see how he got back up, but he got back up. He got a steel chair and wails W Morrissey with the chair. I think Morrissey went over the ropes, I think, or something like that. He's gonna leave, and then he got hit with the steel chair. But yeah, Shakira's pulling him back and all that. And Morrissey was is trying to get to Rich Swann. It was chaos how the show ended there. And yeah, and that's how the show ended. And that be the conclusion of the Go Home Show edition, which I thought was a pretty good, strong Go Home Show edition, leading up to Against All Odds. And there you go. Other than things that I didn't like on the show, which I I'm pretty sure you already know. Get the idea of what it was. But yeah, that was it for that show. It says 5 matches were there. I'm gonna double check here just to make sure. All right. Yeah, 5 matches. 5 matches were the total amount for Impact Wrestling, the home tradition, from June 10th, 2021. And my overall rating for the show, I'm 8 out of 10. Very good show. Very good show. And it really got me excited to watch Against All Odds. And now, if you'll excuse me, before I do get to watch Against All Odds, the next video I'm gonna do is gonna be the preview for Impact Wrestling Rochester Impact Plus presents Against All Odds 2021. So, in the meantime, folks, you'll stay well, stay safe, take care of yourself, everything that's going on in the world. Wear your mask, love one another, God bless one another, live in peace and harmony for us all. And I am done playing catching up with Impact Wrestling. I need to do more playing catching up with other updates in this review as well. And Impact Wrestling and New Japan Pro Wrestling, to say New Japan Pro Wrestling is the big one. But in the meantime, so it's not your boy Thriller saying peace on the streets. You all take care.